take a comfortable seat, close the eyes, and I'm going to chat for a couple of minutes. Because why not? These classes, they're not supposed to be about me, but they can be. So I'm 55 years old, and one of my earliest memories and one of my nicest memories was being like 6 years old, and I said I wanted to play hockey, ice hockey, and my parents hooked me up. They got me equipment. My father woke me up at 5:30 in the morning for us to get to Prospect Park ice hockey rink at 6, and I tried it and I totally bombed out. I was super, my story, loose ligaments, weak muscles, and my ankles just completely collapsed in. And I just, I was 6, didn't really learn anything. The program wasn't particularly good, whatever. I think I lasted a couple of months and I was done. Huge hockey fan. My brother and I, who are really close now, he's one of my dearest friends, did not have a great relationship in childhood, but we bonded over our love for sports, particularly the hockey, the New York Rangers. It was back when we were listening on the radio, no TV, no cable, and we shared a room and we had 2 beds, and in between the bed was our clock radio that we would listen to hockey games. And it was, I was 6 and 69, 77, the Rangers were good back then. It was Ed Jockman and good stuff. So we bonded over hockey. So I've been a huge hockey fan my whole life. Going to hockey games, big Ranger fan, et cetera, et cetera. So we moved to Cleveland, and the day we move, a friend of my mother-in-law's comes over to help us. She sends her kid and a friend of his, and Reggie is looking up at them, and they're high school students, and he's like, what do you do? Whatever. It comes out and they play ice hockey. Reggie's like, I want to play ice hockey. So we put Reggie in this hockey program, and he can't skate. He skated like 5-10 times max in the course of his young life. And on our way over to the rink, I said, buddy, these kids might be a little better than you. And he's like, I can skate. And I said, they might have been playing, So he gets there, and he can't, I'll let you in, fan. He can't skate. I mean, he shows up with a baby stick and like really a baby stick, and ice skates that are collapsible. They go in and out. And he had no equipment. We had no idea. We just said we're going to show up. So they take us into the equipment room and they give him all this stuff, and he skates, and he literally spends more time on the ice. He just falls and gets up and falls and gets up and falls and falls and gets up over and over and over again, and gets off the ice and says, that's the greatest thing ever. And I was like, really? You want to do that again? And he's like, tomorrow, like, greatest thing ever. So that was at the end of August. And he hasn't stopped. He's been skating 4 or 5 nights. The season's over, so he's skating like twice a week now, but he's skating 4 to 5 days a week. And they said in the beginning, first off, we got off the ice that night, they were like, all right, you have to get real skates, a real stick, and which we did. And it's incredible, like where he has come in 7 months, and he can skate like you just can't believe. It's been an amazing experience in terms of our relationship. It's not that we had a bad relationship before, but hockey has been an incredibly bonding thing. I've been living vicariously through him, watching him improve. He had a great season with a great bunch of kids on his team, and the parents were all great, and they won their division, and then they won their playoffs, and we went to these tournaments in Pittsburgh and Indiana. Like it's just, hockey has been incredible, and I've lived vicariously through. And so we're getting to the end of the story. Sorry for me indulging myself, but they started it's Shaker. I live in Shaker Heights, so it's the Shaker Rec League, Shaker Thornton Park. where my wife grew up going to the Thornton Park pool, and my kids are going to be living at the Thornton Park pool this summer. So anyway, the ice skating rink is in Thornton Park, and they started a adult skills class. So Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. And I reached out to Reggie's coach immediately, who's running the skills, and I said, "Is this something that's available for me?" To which he said, "Really back." He said, "Yes." But I needed equipment, and I went and got equipment from their equipment room, and then I had to buy some stuff. I got a helmet, and so long story long, I played hockey last night. So at 9 o'clock, I was on the ice in my big full pads and helmet and stick, and I could barely skate because I skated when I was, I've skated my whole life in a way, and I'm definitely really good on my rollerblades, but I can't hockey stop. So anyway, I get out there, and for an hour, just got my butt absolutely kicked by this coach, and it was not a game. It was drills, right? Skating drills, stick handling drills, passing drills. It was more fun and that I've had. It was just the best. It was an incredible thing. And Reggie got to come with me, and he skated. He wasn't doing the drills. He was assisting his coach, and he was showing off. He was demonstrating. It was just an amazing experience, and it beat me up. Like, it was funny. I mean, I'm in good shape. And the coach at one point said to me, "Are your legs burning?" And somebody else said, "Oh man, they're burning." And my leg, for me, it was my back, because my legs can do that. My legs can skate. Like, I run, I hike, I do it all. So legs weren't an issue, right? But you are bent over when you're playing, right? So, and you're skating backwards, which isn't an action. And I've been skating over the winter. So, but the skating backwards just, oh my God. So it was all back for me, right? So I said, no, I could do this in my legs forever, but my back, these muscles just got worked in a beautiful way. So I woke up this morning beaten up, and there was no checking, there was no contact, but I woke up just beaten up. And my knee in particular is super stiff. Like, I got out of bed, and I couldn't believe it. I just got out of bed. I could not believe that I was so stiff. So that's my story. And the reason I am actually telling this story is, other than that, I just wanted to share how much fun it was for me. I get to be a little self-indulgent. I felt like I was 6, right? I felt like I was a little kid again. And I think I'm a 55-year-old man. I'm not on the downside, but, I'm sort of on the downside. Unless I live to 110, I'm in the second half of my life. That's a pretty good bet. And I want to be a little kid. I want to stay a little kid. I want to act like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 6-year-old my whole life, right? So that last night really gave me that feeling of being a little kid again. And the way I do it mostly is actually through music, right? So when we moved here in New York, the Brooklyn Vegan is this website. I can go to the Brooklyn Vegan, and any night there's a few things I might be interested in seeing, So it took me a while to get down with the Cleveland scene. And even in New York, it wasn't that I was going to local bands. It's just that all the bands I like from around the world will all come to New York. They don't necessarily come to Cleveland. But in the last couple of nights, on Monday night, my wife and I went to see this band called Heinz. And Heinz is a group of 22-year-old Spanish girls from Madrid. And they were really amazing. And then the following night, I went to see a band called Cutworms, which is a young guy. I can't imagine he's 30, playing alt country-ish music. He was great. that's the way I stay young. You know, that's my little kid thing. But to finish up, the hockey just kind of blew my mind and made me feel like a little kid again, and made me tap into just how I need to want to will stay young by behaving young, behaving like a little kid, acting like a little kid, and trying not to let go of that ever if I can help it. To that end, I will be back on the ice next Wednesday at 9 p.m. to get put through the paces again. All right, let's chant Om 15 minutes later. Sorry about that. Thanks for listening. Let's all inhale together.